Hey review family, keep it tight. My name is Jay Morse, the review guy, reviewing music for the love of music, and I'm back again to bring you another video, and in this one I'm going to be covering the new Acacia Strain record entitled It Comes in Waves. Coming around the inception of when some of the best deathcore bands were releasing some of their best music, the Acacia Strain is in my opinion one of the more underrated deathcore bands, even though they've been dropping really consistently great material since their formation, coming out with a pretty good record every few years. A lot of people call them deathcore, some people call them metalcore, I just call them deathcore, and this is their newest little surprise album. And let's just thrust right into the first track, Hour, which starts off with this vaguely industrial, very disturbing, foreboding introduction, which has a very macabre atmosphere, and that's made even more so with the ethereal female vocals. But then it thrusts you into some distortion that bleeds in, and then it just completely goes haywire, and it fires on all cylinders. However, this section near the end, where the whole composition opens up, is a little bit reminiscent of a funeral doom metal band. The sound is dismal and depressive and fuzzy. Combine that with the way the extremely low growls, sounding almost a little bit pitched down, it's hard to tell, roll out with the composition, and you have Acacia Strain dipping into funeral doom metal territory. And even though a lot of these tracks are strictly deathcore, they don't completely omit the metalcore sound, they don't dismiss it whatsoever. Besides the gruffness of the vocals, you could tell me that the instrumental of the track only is an As I Lay Dying instrumental if you just show me it with just the instrumental, and I would be inclined to believe you. I would even be inclined to believe it's from their newest album. But just like the very first track, what steals the show for me is that slower section. Especially with this middle ground where there's this unexplainable environment that quickly descends into a lower riff line and slower vocals that just builds up so much pressure and so much tension in your bones. I should also point a few things out about this record that makes it good that isn't even related to the music at all. This is a simple 7 tracks, 30 minutes long, and some of the tracks don't really overstay their welcome either. I'll put somewhere on the screen here some of my favorite deathcore records. Most of them do not overstay their welcome. For me, metalcore and deathcore are genres that if you wear out your ideas too quickly of what you're gonna do and continue to drag on an album with the same ideas just recycled and tweaked ever so slightly, I'm going to very quickly lose interest in the record. Also, another thing besides the sections of doom would be some of the dynamic vocals, such as on the track Was. With that being said, I'm not even a big fan of the track Was. However, those chanting vocals at the start really steal the show when they go right into the spoken word bits with this radio announcer effect thrown on top of them, which goes into this gnarly, despondent bass line. It sounds really good. If it wasn't for the introduction of this track being a little long and taking a while to get going and being a little patience testing and the type of thing that I would be apt to skip, this track would be even better. You also get a track like Giving, which is a quick track, but it's a flurry of chunky riffs and carnivorous drums, and it really shows why Acacia Strain has found so much longevity in this style. And even if you look at the concept of the album, the tracks spell out, our only sin was giving them names. And here's the thing about this record, I like that it doesn't overstay its welcome. At some points, these tracks can feel like a little bit Deathcore 101, even by the Acacia Strain standards, considering they have kind of been in the same genre for a while. That being said, in a time where Deathcore is having a resurgence alongside some other genres that are really experimenting and really pushing the envelope for different sounds, whether you're talking about the inclusion of clean singing in deathcore, such as, I know Suicide Silence is a joke, but some of Suicide Silence, or better yet, Within the Ruins on their album Halfway Human is a really good example of that, or what Whitechapel is doing right now, or what Chelsea Grin is doing right now, making their sound even heavier, or some of the slamming brutal deathcore bands that are coming out of the Unique Leader Records camp, or even if you're talking about something similar to Lorna Shore or Oceano, how heavy they are coming, or Slaughter to Prevail even. It's a really sick decade to be going into because I think deathcore is going to have a nice decade if it's anything like the end of the 2010s. And even though for the past few years we've had some really good deathcore releases, I think this record stands out in them. I'm going to be giving this album a 7.5 out of 10. And that is a wrap. Have you heard this new Acacia Strain record? It comes in waves. If you have, let me know in the comment section below what you thought about it. I would love to discuss a record with you. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to join the review family today, and smash that notification bell to be notified of my future uploads. You know who it is. My name is Jay Morse, the review guy, and I'm signing off saying farewell.